How's everybody doing? So when you want to model convincing terrain, you have to be willing to put the time in to collect your materials. So what you see here is a combination of limestone, sands, gravels. Like I have tub after tub of yogurt cups full of sifted granular natural substrate materials, crushed granite, oxide sand. It goes on and on like this. And if you want to create and build convincing terrain, you need convincing materials. And then you got to be willing to airbrush thin acrylics, most notably acrylics I find, because they're fast drying and they just look the best, I think. And if they're isopropyl alcohol based, they dry really nice. They never get gummy. You can see matte medium, like this has all been sealed, like it's hard as a rock, like it's like, but still flexible. I mentioned that before. Like it's laid in place and then pre-soaked and then eyedroppered in. Like you can see some of the stains from the matte medium, which is like, I welcome that. That's this salt runoff. Like when I airbrush this with a thin, like to me a desert yellow or something like that, like when I'm finished this sand, like it will look so believable. Like I know it will, right? Like if it's framed in right, because of the textures and the color. And all the textures and the color are as close as you can get to the authentic real world. And that's how you do it. Layer after layer after layer, thin layer. I never lay opaque colors onto anything. Like I don't lay like opaque colors onto them, like solid colors, I mean. Never. Like I just don't do it. Like I did it when I was a kid, but you know, I stopped doing it a long time ago when I studied real artists, like painters, you know, classical painters, and that's how they did it. Like that's how they built up their paintings. Was layer after layer after layer, and that's the way you do it. And if you're not willing to put the time in to put like 20 layers of substrate and paint or more like this, right? Well then you simply will not produce convincing terrain that you'd be happy with. Now look, it's all a learning game, it's all a learning curve, but the more you do it, and the more you put certain fundamentals like this into practice, the more realistic it's going to look at the end of the day. So I find that with dioramas, like most of the work is in the terrain. Like if you can't build a convincing terrain model, then there's no point in putting a model on it. Like there's no point, just display your figure or your tank separate. Like don't downplay your figurine or your model, you know, that you covet so much onto a terrain or a diorama that's not convincing. You need to put the same integrity, time, effort, and energy. And I say time, like be willing to work on it for months on end and put it away for a couple of days. Come back and look at it. Like last night, I finally got the color after like a month of doing other stuff. I just could not get the color of the sand right. So now I know. Like I have the colors already mixed. I already know now exactly the color that I want, that golden sort of yellow color. Now I put that aside because I'm adding in other layers, and then I'm going to pinch in more sand. Like when the water comes in, it'll feather into all this finer rock work, and it'll even feather into this grass. And then it'll get airbrushed with super thin sand colors so that it doesn't opaquely cover up all the stuff that I don't want it to cover up, like the stone. I don't want to make this color entirely go away, because I'll dry brush this texture, this smaller rock. However, the sand, which I'll redo another thin layer again, will get painted with isopropyl alcohol, like 95% IPA with 5% like desert yellow, Tamiya or whatever, or buff. That's how you do it. You know, like there are correct methods to apply that will help you get to where you want to go. There's different ways of going about it, putting on your layers and mixing colors and materials. But there are basic principles that apply, like fundamentals, like I mentioned. You have to build up in layers, once again, thin layers, and be willing to just grow with the scene, like grow, study photos, ask yourself questions. Why are there deposits in certain areas? And you have to be willing to build up the layers just like Mother Nature would build up layers. Like when a tide comes in and a tide goes out, what happens? It's not just a couple of layers sprinkled like that. Water seeps into everything, sand goes into everything, rock gets exposed, grass sprouts up because of the sand, the high drainage, the salt, the fertilizers. Like everything has a reason and a purpose. And if you think in those terms, like the bedrock first and then building up like it is in the real world, you'll have a successful looking terrain feature on your diorama, okay?